Welcome to Motorize.de. Today we're taking a close look at a true touring classic, the Honda GL 1500 Goldwing. We're not just indulging in nostalgia, we'll see, in very practical terms, what it's still like as a used buy today, and where you'll want to take a closer look. For many riders, the GL 1500 is long-distance comfort made metal, smooth, quiet, and built with real substance. At the same time, it's big, heavy, and more technically complex than it first appears. In this video, we'll cover its development, engineering, riding feel, strengths, weaknesses, and the accessories that actually make sense. And at the end, you'll get a clear buying recommendation, including a checklist for viewing one in person. One key detail up front, the GL 1500 comes with a factory reverse gear, making this heavyweight surprisingly easy to maneuver. Gern? Bitte schick mir den deutschen Voice-Over-Text für Szene 2. Hier nach den 3 Strichen einfügen, dann übersetze ich ihn idiomatisch, natürlich und ansprechend ins Englische. When Honda introduced the GL 1500 Goldwing in 1988, it was more than the next evolutionary step. The Goldwing moved into a new league, bigger, more luxurious, and purpose-built for long-distance touring. At its heart was a new longitudinally mounted 1,520cc flat-6 boxer engine, liquid-cooled and deliberately tuned for smooth, refined power. Compared with the GL 1200, the 1500 didn't just gain displacement and comfort. It also gained stability. A stiffer chassis and a low-mounted engine noticeably lowered the center of gravity. In the 1990s, it became the benchmark for the living room on wheels, complete with integrated luggage, a full-size fairing, and generous onboard amenities. One signature feature of this generation, a reverse gear powered by the starter motor. Still, for many owners, a key reason to seek out this particular Goldwing today. Bitte sende mir den deutschen Voice-Over-Text für Szene 4, der Inhalt nach dem fehlt. Dann übersetze ich ihn idiomatisch, natürlich und ansprechend ins Englische. Beneath the broad bodywork of the Honda GL 1500 Goldwing sits a liquid-cooled 1,520cc flat-6 with 2 valves per cylinder. Depending on the model year, its output and personality are all about effortless authority. Around 100 horsepower and strong torque that pulls cleanly from just above idle. Shifting is handled by a 5-speed gearbox, with power sent to the rear wheel via a low-maintenance shaft drive. Up front, the chassis relies on conventional telescopic forks. At the rear, a Pro-Link swing arm. Many versions feature air-assisted suspension to cope with a passenger and luggage. Braking comes from twin front discs and a rear disc, often with a linked braking system. Built for real-world touring, a 23-liter fuel tank, and as a signature touch, an electric reverse gear for easy maneuvering. Gern. Mir fehlt nur der eigentliche Text von Szene 6. In deiner Nachricht steht nach Original nur, bitte sende den deutschen Voice-Over-Text oder ein Foto-Screenshot davon und sag kurz, ob es US oder UK Englisch sein soll, sowie welcher Ton gewünscht ist. Zum Beispiel sachlich, emotional, werblich. Dann übersetze ich ihn idiomatisch und natürlich. The GL 1500 doesn't feel like a motorcycle with luggage bolted on. It comes across as a purpose-built touring machine. Fairing, side cases, and top box are integrated from the factory, and despite its sheer size, the styling still looks cohesive. The defining feature is the low-slung flat-6 boxer, tucked deep in the frame, visually and mechanically pulling the center of gravity down. In the saddle, the Goldwing feels more like an armchair than a sports seat. A low seat height, plenty of legroom, wide floorboards, and a relaxed reach to the bars. Ahead of you is a large cockpit with clear round gauges and an entire landscape of switches for onboard comfort. One specific touch, many GL 1500 versions came with a factory audio system, with multiple speakers built into the fairing, luxury back then and a charming period detail today. Gern? Mir fehlt nur der eigentliche Text. Bitte füge den deutschen Voice-Over-Text für Szene 8 hier ein, alles nach dem ein, dann übersetze ich ihn idiomatisch, natürlich und ansprechend ins Englische. In everyday use, the Honda GL 1500 Goldwing feels far more relaxed than you'd expect from a bike this size. In town, it turns in neutrally, but it's still a heavyweight. Slow maneuvers, tight parking spaces, and steep inclines take a bit of planning. Exactly where the standard reverse gear really earns its keep. Out on country roads, the low center of gravity hides a lot of mass, as long as you don't try to hustle it like a sport tourer. But it truly shines where it belongs, on long-distance runs. It devours highway miles as if it was born for them, with rock-solid stability, generous wind protection, and a drivetrain that doesn't feel like it's working. It simply glides. The built-in luggage is genuinely useful too. Saddlebags plus a top case swallow 2-up gear without resorting to backpacks. Here, touring ability isn't marketing. It's the whole point. Gern, mir fehlt nur der eigentliche Text. Bitte sende den deutschen Voice-over-Text für Szene 10. Dann übersetze ich ihn idiomatisch, natürlich und ansprechend ins Englische.